I'm really worried about Cristian Javier on the mound tomorrow. I'm really worried about what this Astros offense is going to be able to do to try to help make up. This is where I'm already at, to help make up for the problems that Javier has on the mound. Am I going doomsday too quickly?
No, I think if we were realistic about it going in, we knew what it would take for this team to win baseball games consistently in the postseason. And look, it's only 2 games. It feels like it's the end of the world because yesterday you were hopeful that you'd get good Fromber at home. He'd give you a 2-0 lead. You suck the life out of Minnesota. You go back there, and their place won't be as nuts because they know that the inevitable is coming, especially when you've watched, unfortunately, the team up in Dallas, or Arlington, go on the road and win their first 2 games. So you're feeling like you should have the 2 games at home, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
You're right, though, to not feel great about Javier. What guy's going to show up? You know that he's going to be at about 85 pitches in the 4th inning. You're hopeful that he gets to 5.
Right.
He gives up a run, no more than that, and he strikes out a bunch of guys and hands it off to the bullpen. For this team to win this series, it's going to come down to the offense doing more than it did last night. I didn't have a big expectation because Lopez has been fantastic for them this season. He's been a strikeout machine, and he was awesome last night. He absolutely dealt. Strike zone wasn't great all the time, but that's a different story. They have to be more consistent offensively, which means somebody other than Jordan and Altuve has to do something. I'm staring at you, Alex Bregman, and I'm staring at you, Kyle Tucker.
And Jeremy
you
Pena.
guys, Pena's been good.
I want to see him not shake his hips on second base.
Opposite take here. He's doing something to get the place fired up because nobody in this place is freaking doing anything.
That's fair.
I mean, get the crowd into it, which sucks that you have to do a pelvic thrust
when you're
to
down
get it going.
When you're down 5-0 though, like that. Come on.
But that's still a winnable baseball game for this team that can explode.
That's fair too.
Like I will say, I don't know.
I just don't like it.
It did not bug me in the moment, and it does not bug me today because I just need, if it takes something, like if he needs to rip his shirt off on second base to get the damn crowd going, do it.
It didn't bug me in the moment, really, because I was also distracted at the time a little bit. So it didn't bug me in the moment, but now that I've had more time to think about it, I've gone real like old man yells at cloud on it.
At least you're honest.
I don't like it. You're down 5-0. There are other ways to show that you're amped up and try to get everybody amped up. But like,
so you don't like when I'm probably going to assume a Cowboys player at some point last night got a first down and did the first down logo when they're getting smoked. You don't like that either.
If you're losing 42-10, you better not do anything other than walk back to the huddle or walk to the line of scrimmage. I didn't like it whenever the Texans in the Colts game, when they were getting blasted in the Colts game and C.J. Stroud threw his first touchdown pass to Tank Dell and they did that little dance in the end zone. Didn't like that either. Like if you're down if you're down by a 1 run, 2 runs, or in the moment it seems a little bit more winnable or you're right there, totally fine. But if you're down by a lot, probably don't do that. It looks really stupid.
Yeah, I get it overall. But just from the standpoint, again, the way that they played last night and the way that they have to play, they have to keep the game manageable to get it to the bullpen. Now, the bullpen almost screwed up in game number 1. Obviously, Hector Neris, who's been unbelievable this season, comes in and just is ass. Like, you're right. It's unfortunate that it happens in the postseason. Yeah. It's a terrible way to start it for a reliever because you're worried about the mindset after that. Hector Neris is a guy that pitches with a lot of emotion, I think positive emotion, angry emotion, and he just went out and look, Royce Lewis is a problem. Polanco's a problem. Those are 2 guys in this lineup that absolutely terrify me every time they come up.
Yeah.
The rest of their lineup really doesn't scare me outside of Correa, but if they can get to their bullpen with a significant enough lead, you feel like you're going to win the ball. I think the ball game tomorrow is probably won in the first 3 innings by whoever can get to the starter. And, on paper, it's not the Astros that have the easiest advantage to go get to a starter, unfortunately, because Sonny Gray's been really good. Even if he's not, you're not scared of him, because I'm still not scared of him overall. Like, I think he's got an arsenal that's gettable. But in that atmosphere tomorrow, in the cold weather, by the way, I think the high is going to be in the 50s tomorrow. How do they look? We'll see.
Okay, so you said on paper. We've talked about that a lot. On paper they can. On paper they can't. The one here, I'll find my positivity. I'm gonna find that little tiny nugget of positivity within that. This is a team that game in, game out, time and time again has shown your paper be damned. We're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's on paper. If they're on, they destroy all papers and everything. Period. So That's what I'm going to decide to hope for. I'm going to decide to hope that this team that we've seen in postseason run after postseason run, this team that we've seen win multiple World Series, go to even more multiple World Series, that have been in the ALCS for a billion, 1.6 billion years in a row.
2 wins away from a 7th consecutive ALCS where you'll play the stupid Rangers.
2 billion ALCS appearances in a row. I'm going to trust that they're going to have lost a game at home that they know they probably shouldn't have lost. And somebody on Twitch actually just said a minute ago, this is where I'm going to find silver lining here too, as hey, they stole one at home.
They did.
They stole one at home, so you should be happy that they stole one at home. Normally, you're really worried about a team that you don't want. You want to win both at home because you'd have to steal one on the road. The Astros, being the road team that they have been this year, it's not that big of a concern. But
they probably are really hoping to hear some "We Want Houston" chants tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be so. You know what? They'll do it too. If they've already done it once, they're going to do it again. But this team on paper, they at any moment they can crumple that paper up and throw it in the trash, and that's what has me excited. I think the problem is, and what I'm experiencing, and what a lot of us are experiencing is what we talked about for the last 2 weeks. It's sports spoiled. We've been sports spoiled. We've been spoiled by the Astros having relatively easy paths sometimes, and not necessarily having to deal with the pitching not being as great, the lineup not quite doing what they should be doing. We haven't had to deal with a lot of this stuff, and so whenever it shows up and games and series get a little bit closer than we like, we get all whiny and butthurt about it, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm just whiny and butthurt, and I just need to be that way, but I do feel like this team could just turn it on, even if Cristian Javier has maybe not the most perfect of all starters.
I'm glad you mentioned whiny and butthurt, because I'm gonna be whiny and butthurt here for a second as well.
Something else that
I want to complain about from last night. I complained about the atmosphere. I know that it bothered Andrew as well. He's going to get more into that later on one of our segments, but I want to also complain about the fact that we are booing Carlos Correa, and it has nothing to do with Carlos Correa, the player, and what he did. It is straight up due to the fact that is a player, we all know this, that plays and lives with that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Giving him more motivation is the dumbest thing I have ever experienced as a Houston Astros fan in my life. Quit being idiots. Don't boo him. Just don't give him a reaction. You gave him more fire in the belly last night than he already had. Don't boo him.
And this booing, I feel like, gives him even more motivation than normal booing would, because it's booing from the Houston fan base.
Yeah.
It's booing from
love him.
The city that loved him, that he loved.
I know that these people deep down still love him and always will.
Yeah.
They're just doing it because he's on the other team now. But it just...
Don't boo him.
I didn't get it.
No.
I didn't get it. Just don't give a reaction. There's nothing.
Yeah, I don't get it from either standpoint. I don't get it because of who he is and who he was for this team, who he has been for this city, and how much we all loved him when he was here. And I don't get it from why are you motivating this guy? He's about to he's about to hit a bunch of bombs because you can't stop booing him. I don't love it. I don't love it from multiple different standpoints, but it is what it is.